Baron Trump leaned back in the driver's seat of his sleek, custom-built sports car, the city lights reflecting off its polished surface. The world was his playground. At least, that's how he saw it. Born into wealth and power, Baron had always believed he was untouchable. Rules didn't apply to him. Life was a game he couldn't lose. The night was cool, but Baron didn't notice. His mind was clouded with frustration from yet another trivial argument with his family. They just didn't get him, he thought. Accelerating down the empty streets, the hum of the engine drowned out his thoughts. He felt a rush of control, or so he believed. As the car sped through the deserted road, Baron failed to notice a small figure darting onto the street. By the time he realized, it was too late. His reflexes kicked in, swerving sharply to avoid the child. The car spun out of control, crashing into a lamppost. Silence filled the air, broken only by the soft whimpering of the child nearby. Shaken, Baron stumbled out, heart pounding. The boy, no older than 7, sat on the curb, clutching his scraped knee, tears streaming down his face. Baron's mind raced. For the first time, the weight of his actions pressed down on him. He crouched beside the boy, unsure of what to say. "Are you okay?" His voice was shaky, unfamiliar with genuine concern. The boy nodded, eyes wide with fear. Baron felt a pang of guilt, a foreign emotion for him. The boy's mother rushed out of a nearby house, her face a mix of panic and relief. She scooped the boy into her arms, shooting Baron a wary glance. "What were you thinking driving like that?" she demanded, her voice trembling. Baron had no answer. For once, he couldn't hide behind his usual bravado. The reality of his recklessness hit him harder than the crash. He saw himself through her eyes, not as the untouchable Baron Trump, but as a young man who had nearly hurt a child. The next morning, Baron couldn't shake the image of the boy's frightened face. The encounter haunted him, forcing him to confront a side of himself he'd long ignored. His arrogance, his sense of superiority. What had it really brought him? Determined to make amends, Baron visited the boy's family. He brought gifts, but it was clear the mother valued something more. "You can't fix everything with money," she said softly. "It's about responsibility, about learning from your mistakes." Her words lingered with him. Baron realized that this wasn't just about the crash. It was about his entire approach to life. For the first time, he saw the cracks in his facade, the emptiness behind his arrogance. In the weeks that followed, Baron immersed himself in the local community. He volunteered at a nearby shelter, where he met people who had faced real struggles. Their stories opened his eyes to a world he had never truly seen. He also spent more time with the boy, helping him with schoolwork and even playing soccer together. The boy's laughter became a reminder of the innocence he had nearly shattered, and the second chance he had been given. The crash had shattered more than just metal and glass. It had torn through the walls Baron had built around his heart. It was a brutal, unforgiving wake-up call, one that left him standing at the edge of who he thought he was, staring into the depths of who he needed to become. Each passing day, as he confronted his flaws and sought redemption, the weight of his past arrogance pressed harder, yet strangely, it also lightened his soul. Now, as he stood on the edge of the soccer field, the sun dipping low and casting a golden glow over the scene, Baron watched the boy play with unbridled joy. His laughter echoed in the evening air, pure and untouched, a sound that stirred something deep within Baron's chest. For the first time he felt a warmth that money could never buy, a peace that power could never command. This was what he had been searching for all along, not the hollow comfort of control, but the profound, unbreakable connection to life, to others, and to himself. As tears welled in his eyes, BARRON understood that redemption wasn't a destination, but a journey. One he was finally ready to embrace, step by humble step,